tongue split in two, forming the shapes of commercial airliners that would eventually crash into the twin towers of modern-day greed. God has not turned his cheeks, brothers and sisters. We have turned ours. I do sympathize for the families that lost their members on that bloody day in September, but I cannot sympathize for the world. Those who have died were sacrificed for a better cause. No, not the cause of the martyrs who've been flying planes or for their leaders. It is a cause we cannot understand. We are too naive to comprehend. Our knowledge is elementary. To the all-knowing power of God. You might be asking, brothers and sisters, why God would allow such destruction. That is the question that divides believers from the sinners. The Bible is full of stories involving sacrifices. Those Middle Easterners flying the planes were not of God's choosing. They were of their own choosing. By a gift and a burden that God has bestowed upon us. We call it free will. But while God has given us the choices of free will, there is still a method behind the madness. Sacrifices, like 9/11, are checkpoints on the timeline that has been laid out before us. Isaiah chapter 53, verse 6 reads, "We all like sheep have gone astray, each of us has turned to his own way." 9/11 is one example of human intervention. This intervention was caused by man's greed for power and money. Greed, power, and lust are the follies of mankind. We have been fooled by the devil in believing that God has forgotten about his children. The devil has placed a seed in our minds and hearts that blooms into the darkness. But I tell you, we are not a lost civilization in the eyes of God. God is a lost deity in the eyes of man. It is not God who has forgotten. It is us that have forgotten. The tagline for 9/11 is never forget. How quickly we forget, brothers and sisters. We all have a choice, friends. The drug addict can quit using. A thief can stop stealing. And a gay man can go straight. Don't look so shocked, brothers and sisters. I realize the world in alliance with the devil has pulled a silk veil over our heads and tricked us into believing that homosexuality is a new fashion statement. But brothers and sisters, I tell you it is not. It's the damnation. We are in a downward spiral, my friends. We have abandoned the cross for a rainbow flag-toting faggot. Leviticus 18 reads, "You should not lie with the male the way one lies with the female. It is an abomination. God says it is an abomination." Many excuse this act by saying it is no different than any other sin, that all sinners are created equal, that love is universal and unbiased. I can love my brother like I love my sister, but not like I love my wife. The devil has infiltrated our minds and poisoned our souls. The city of Sodom was risen again in the form of a nation and forged itself with greed, lust, and power. We must turn back around, find that fork in the road to make a right instead of a left. Do we want more acts of terrorism? Do we want more disasters like Hurricane Katrina? Does that shock you to think that God would turn the winds against us? New Orleans was a beautiful city with rich music and rich culture. But every year it played host to the most sinful acts on the planet. Did you know that a gay parade called Southern Decadence was to take place that very same weekend that Hurricane Katrina hit the city? But is God to be blamed for that action? How can our actions take responsibility for a natural disaster? Are we not in an age where man can control the weather with global warming? Have we not in some way played a role in the natural disaster in New Orleans? Free will, brothers and sisters, free will. We know not the hour, the day, or the place. But rest assured, brothers, the time is upon us. We are not innocent lives caught in the crossfires of the war between God and Satan. We are choosing our side every day by the choices that we make. We are on borrowed land and borrowed time, brothers and sisters. We are simply tenants and God is our glorious land. The lease is about to run out, and I fear if we haven't saved our souls, we're going to spend an eternity in hell!